Juniors, in this video session we are going to talk about energy levels and orbitals, relating this to the arrangement of electrons around the nucleus of an atom. Keep in mind that we are studying the arrangement of electrons because that determines the chemical properties of elements. So, quick review. We said last session that the rho indicated the energy level and that there were 4 orbitals where we find electrons. Those orbitals were S, P, D, and F. When we look at electrons, electrons always fill from the lowest energy level to the highest energy level. So if you will draw this chart in your notes, in this chart we have 4 columns, and those 4 columns indicate energy level, the sub-levels within each energy level, orbitals, and the number of electrons. Let's look at the first energy level. The first energy level has 1 sub-level. As I look at that, I see a pattern. Second energy level has 2 sub-levels. Third energy level has 3 sub-levels. And finally, the fourth energy level has 4 sub-levels. So there's a little bit of a sequence there. Let's look at the first energy level. We see the first energy level has 1 sub-level. I'm going to relate to the periodic table here. That first sub-level is right here. The first energy level, the sub-level, includes hydrogen and helium. The second energy level says we have 2 sub-levels. Those 2 sub-levels are 2s and 2p. Well, we know that the s stands for the s orbital and the p stands for the p orbitals. I'm plural there because there are 3 p orbitals. I'm going to try to zoom in just a little bit on that information. There we go. Now as I look on my periodic table, how does this relate? Well, on the second energy level, there are 2 sublevels. In the 2s sublevel, that includes lithium and beryllium. And in the 2p sublevel, this is boron to neon. If you recall, each orbital can hold at most 2 electrons. There are 3 p orbitals. Well, 3 orbitals, 2 electrons would be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know neon has 2 electrons in the 2s sublevel, and neon has 6 electrons in the 2p sublevel. Now that makes a total of 8 electrons. Looking at my table, 8 electrons total that can fit in the second energy level. If we go to the third energy level, the third energy level has 3 sublevels. Those are 3s, 3p, and 3d. Notice the 3s sublevel has 1 orbital. The 3p sublevel, well, p has 3 orbitals. And we said last video session that the d orbitals, there were 5 of them. So the 3d sublevel is going to have 5 orbitals. I have a total of 9 orbitals in the third energy level. If each orbital can hold 2 electrons, that means that the third energy level can hold 18 electrons. I'm going to pause here and we'll continue on in the next video.